apologize for being late. On my way here from Senator Atwater's function this afternoon, I was introduced to a precocious Montessori school child who wanted to know what I would do for him because if I was elected, because he's going to be entering the public school system. So I did not want to put him off and say I'll talk to you later because I have some place to go, because I feel that that's part of the problem, that we put our children off a lot. And we don't mean to, it doesn't mean we love them any less, but if we think of grown-up stuff, then, you know, we don't think about them. So anyway, I was very happy to hear a lot of people that stood here tonight talk about how very important education is. For me, it's more than very important. It is the most important thing that we can do. We have an obligation, each generation has an obligation to educate the next generation as to their highest capacity. And unfortunately, we're not doing that right now. And even though a lot of people think that if we do this program or if we start these charter schools and whatever, that will solve the problem, it's not going to solve the problem. Because the core problem is the fact that over the past 35 years, parents have forced teachers to be surrogate parents and social workers and disciplinarians. That is not what teachers come to schools to do. They come to teach. And because of this situation, their passion for teaching has been stifled. In addition, that's coupled with a lot of really short-sighted mandates from the state and federal level that say that they have to do this in the classroom. So we don't have any creativity going on both sides. The kids who spend 8 to 10 hours a day traveling to and from school and sitting in a classroom and then coming home and doing 2 or 3 hours of homework are people. And they get tired and they're frustrated. They have tensions on both sides. They leave a home with tension, they're tired, they come to school and they meet maybe bitter teachers who, you know, understandably agree by being put in a situation like that. And I feel unless that situation, unless that problem is solved, all the programs in the world are not going to do anything. We shouldn't have to talk about, oh yes, the scores, the kids' scores are better this year, or there's a decrease in dropouts. There shouldn't be dropouts, period. Children should love school. They should they should want to learn. They should come into school every morning feeling happy and excited about what they're going to leave knowing that they didn't know when they went in there. Okay, so essentially, I'm running because I respect children and I feel that they should be listened to more. This young man tonight gave me an idea that would help in the classroom. He's only 6 years old. These are phenomenal. They're phenomenal. And teachers are phenomenal. But we're not giving them the space to be creative and what have you. And unless we do, everything that everybody said about increased taxes, that's going to happen, because the more you put money into programs to try to bring kids up to an adequate score, and if they don't, they still drop out, then you're paying extra taxes, maybe paying for extra jails, but you're definitely paying extra taxes. And in the meantime, and what's really disturbing me is that while all this money is going into bringing underachievers up, the kids that are really smart and really might be our next scientists, they discover the cure for AIDS and all these other diseases and what have you, they're not going anywhere. They're staying right where they are. Their knowledge is not expanding because they're not challenged. And funny as it may seem, it's kids that's passing that's dropping out of school more than kids that are failing. So it's a situation that I would like to address by using the relationships I enjoy with parents and teachers and children all over this county. And let me just tell you a little bit about myself, because I know you're hearing me talk and you know this is not a southern accent. I was born in New York, but I was raised partly in Chatham. I attended J.S. Waters in the first years of my life, the formative years, and I graduated from a southern high school.
at the end of my academic life. I know the South, and I know the North. I've been to public schools, and I've been educated in private schools. And I feel that we can solve some of the problem by just boiling down all the good things from the charter schools and the private schools and scaling it to fit into public schools. And because public schools are the foundation of this economy. And that's just a fact, and it's always going to be a fact because the majority of children are publicly educated. So we need to make that education system work. Thank you, and I hope that you vote for it.